On this channel, we usually like to focus on talent and skills of idols, sometimes lack thereof. However, being skilled and talented as a K-pop idol is one thing, but companies and their teams using these assets properly is a whole different story, and oftentimes the latter part makes the biggest difference. Just like having good cards on hands is one thing, but knowing how to play them is actually far more important. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but it is my personal belief that companies have the responsibility of debuting idols that they know what to do with and plan on using their strengths to their fullest potential. That is my opinion. And while it for sure does happen, sometimes it's really not the case. And that is how this video was born. I'm gonna present you with 5 idols who I would personally consider properly used and 5 idols that I would consider misused by their companies. The video is split into 5 rounds. For each round, I've paired 2 idols, 1 used properly and 1 misused. To make things interesting, I did my best to come up with pairings that would make sense for one reason or another. Well, I think that's all you need to know. Without further ado, let's go! First round, Bae of NMIXX and Giselle of aespa. The similarity between Bae and Giselle is that they both come from strong vocal groups, and technically, they are arguably the weakest vocalists in their respective groups. Their treatment, however, very different. So Bae is easily main vocalist material for 4th generation standards, yet she's been put in a group with even better vocalists. I mean, we know NMIXX's lineup. Bae doesn't have the effortless high range of Lily or Haewon's power. Vocally, she's also not on the level of Chaeyoung or Kyujin. What's more, she also doesn't hold the rapper position like Jiu, so she cannot stand out in that way either. Considering all that, we can see how on paper, Bae could become invisible in NMIXX if not given the right material to work with. Fortunately, it's not the case. Quite the opposite actually. While Bae may vocally not be able to go toe-to-toe with Lily or Haewon and cannot handle the most challenging parts in the group, NMIXX's producers recognize that she still has a lot to offer. Bae's lines tend to be fun. They play to her strengths and allow her to showcase different parts of her voice, her surprising lower register, bright mid-range, and clear falsetto.
We gotta go 만개하는 날 지나지 너와는 낭만들을 잃지 않게 연결된 네 손으로 날아가 baby 저 멀리 펼쳐진 것으로 가본 적 없는 길을 밟아
In a 6-member group with a high vocal standard, Bae, who can be argued as the least impressive vocalist of the group, can still show off her unique style, personality, and color. So I am glad to report that Bae is taken seriously as a talented idol and an integral part of her group. That is how you do it. And now, how not to do it. Let me take a deep breath. Cause Giselle is one of the saddest, most frustrating cases, really. Terribly underutilized. Despite the fact that she can sing, she has so much personality and actual star quality about her. To begin with, main rapper is a pretty useless position in aespa, since they are a much more vocal-oriented group in the first place. And there aren't many rap sections in their music, so given Giselle's position, she's already quite limited. I also may be wrong, but isn't Giselle a rather underwhelming rapper? She can for sure work well enough with the music, but the position of a main rapper seems like a bit of a stretch to me personally. Has she been given this position because of the fact that she is a fluent English speaker? No, that surely cannot be the case, right? Right? Listening to aespa's music, you can find parts that are specifically tailored to Karina, Winter, and Ningning. However, Giselle is treated more like an afterthought. In result, out of all interesting and creative parts in aespa's songs, Giselle has been consistently working with the most random, basic, uninteresting, bland lines that just feel like they have to be there. Basically scraps that have just been left behind for her. I wish SM recognized the strengths of Giselle and gave her the space to shine properly, because the combination of the lines that she gets with a quite awful line distribution is offensive, especially in a 4-member group. That being said, I absolutely commend Giselle for being able to make it work even when given so little. Stream dopamine, because I will. Next we have 2 different rappers and 2 different stories. Moonbyul of MAMAMOO and chaeyoung of Twice. Moonbyul is an example of a well-utilized rapper. She is actually a pretty perfect fit for MAMAMOO. Being a versatile, melodic rapper, she suits the group's expressive, vibrant, colorful discography very well. Sure, in terms of line distribution, it may not always seem fair, but over the years, Moonbyul definitely has been given enough to stand out and showcase her skills properly. Someone knew what they were doing, debuting her in MAMAMOO. Chaeyoung, on the other hand, is not a very well utilized rapper. The fact is, by listening to Twice alone, without doing any research on chaeyoung, you could probably come to the conclusion something like, this girl is a main rapper? I mean, sure. And you would be very surprised if I showed you something like this. Simply put, in my opinion, the issue in Chaeyoung's case is that her rapping skills haven't been adequately showcased over the years in Twice, which makes her seem less impressive in this area than she actually is. Chaeyoung has a nice bright voice with a sweet tone to it, however singing is not her forte. I personally am very much looking forward to a solo project from Chaeyoung and a potential comeback of some serious rap for her. Also, let's not forget that Chaeyoung is a songwriter, Felix of Stray Kids and Rora of BABYMONSTER. At first you may think, well, that's an odd pairing, pretty random, but you need to trust me. These two have one thing in common. They both have the deepest voices in their respective groups, and they're not the members to deliver the highest notes. Starting with the good, in an industry that seems to favor higher, often thinner voices, Felix, with his deep low voice, could theoretically be easily left out. In a different group, he could have been made into a dancer with a few obligatory rap parts here and there. But as you know, that is not what happens. Instead, Felix's lower range has become one of the signature key elements of Stray Kids' sound. In an industry full of higher voices, this primarily self-producing group isn't afraid of highlighting his unique bass baritone instrument. What otherwise could have been a disadvantage turned out to be a great asset for Felix and his group. Well done, boys. Let it be known that I do not trust YG to handle a vocalist like Rora and a voice like hers well. Her deeper voice with an elegant warmth to it and a bit lower range doesn't really align with YG's typical musical textbook. It's quite obvious to me that Rora doesn't suit BABYMONSTER's concept very well. For example, during the recording of Drip, she even expressed difficulty with matching the song's overall vibe.
Baby got drip. 또 이런 거 처음 해봐요.
프라이를 넣어줘야 돼.
Baby got 이렇게 해야 돼요? 나는 힙합 래퍼. Baby got.
Yes, she eventually got it right, but it seemed like she was really out of her comfort zone. In terms of sheer line distribution, things aren't looking too promising for Rora, as she is consistently at the end or close to the end in terms of how much time she actually gets. Look up Sheesh, Drip, Butter Up, Forever, even stuck in the middle, so maybe it's not quantity, but quality. It's all about quality. Yeah, because YG is famous for that. Well, let me check. No, not really. Even when she gets more time to sing, Rora still doesn't get much to work with actually. She often doesn't really participate in choruses. Her parts tend to be quite monotone if not repetitive. Click, clack, click. You know what I mean. Not to mention how these parts do mostly nothing for Rora's velvety lower register, balanced mid-belt, and controlled vibrato. I would like to be proven wrong in the future, but for now, it is a shame that the second best vocalist in the group cannot shine as much as I believe she could. Especially when BABYMONSTER is sort of supposed to be the more vocal group for YG, but imagine Rora in a group like IVE, maybe? Round number 4, Shuhwa of IDOL and Kazuha of Sserafim. I've chosen these two to illustrate how important it is to know how to play your cards right. The thing is, Soyeon knows what's up. Since 2022, there has been a very positive shift in Shuhwa's treatment in IDOL. It genuinely feels to me like the nude comeback started a whole new era for her. Well, truthfully, Shuhwa is absolutely an underwhelming vocalist. But like I said, Soyeon knows what's up. I believe she's aware of Shuhwa's limits and gives her parts that won't be too difficult or risky to perform for her, allowing Shuhwa's charm and personality to shine without putting unnecessary pressure on her. Thanks to that, Shuhwa is able to contribute to IDOL, adding a lot of character to the group. Well done! Although Kazuha is not a particularly skilled vocalist on her own, she actually can sound good when given the right material to work with. She is in fact a more competent vocalist than Shuhwa, but you could think the opposite, and I wouldn't blame you. A vocalist of Kazuha's caliber should not be given lines like these to sing ever, because the results speaks for themselves. A good rule of thumb would be, if you don't invest in the vocal skills of your idols, the least you can do as a company is to not give them parts they cannot perform decently. Yes, Kazuha should improve her vocals, but she still deserves better. And that, guys, concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed this new format. Please let me know what you think about all this. Also, would you like to see a part 2 maybe? Anyone? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you in my next one. For now, bye guys.